It's quite close to the #1 in total readership. The #1 title that is this television program in Russian. So it's quite, I would say, influential. What was what was the agenda of Diena? Since inception, back in 1990, and Diena celebrated 19 years of, well, it actually didn't celebrate, but it turned it turned 19 years on 23rd of November this year. I would say that it was a fresh style of journalism in Latvia back then. Diena introduced a very clear division between news and opinions, which was not, of course, common to Soviet-style journalism, which was obviously mainstream back then. And the reason why Diena did it was because we thought that people can judge themselves. You have to present facts. And of course they are interested in very strong opinion by the paper, but you have to separate it. And I think that if you look back in times when Diena was the most strongest, I think it really stuck to this principle, and it was popular. I think that problems occurred when people felt that Diena is trying to influence their opinions also through news. And I think that there was a period when quite a strong political messages were also sent, also via news selection and news coverage. And people felt it, and I think that they also felt that this is going into contradiction with the original concept, and they turned away. So what I felt is or was quite inspiring was that after last year we made a redesign of the paper, and we made it in a very scientific way. We made a really great audience research to understand what are the themes that they are interested in. We also had a very deep and concrete analysis about Diena performance, what is lacking, what is best. And basically the main two conclusions was that #1, we are quite good at covering themes that are not so important to readers. They really value highly our professionalism, but the themes that they are interested in are just outside the coverage, or they are of minor importance. And so, taking into account these conclusions, we really try to balance the paper's coverage of themes so that, of course, it's very strong focus on policy issues and economy issues, but it also have to look at the lifestyle and well, life is more than just the politics, and people want to feel their everyday needs and worries represented in the paper. And the second thing was the tone or way how you present news. And actually it was interesting case that we formulated editorial dilemmas. It means that we formulated two very good things, out of which people are pressed to choose just one. It's not like choosing between bad and good, but between two good things. You have to say, what do you prefer? For example, do you want to read more in-depth analysis and like longer stories, or you would like to read about like limited scope of issues, or you would like to have a coverage of all the important things, but in a very concise way, so that you don't get this very big stories. And it's, of course, in itself, both of these things are good. But we ask, what do you prefer, dear readers? And seeing this proportion, we also try to balance the coverage. So we can have a longer stories, but then they don't need just to be long. They really have to be analytical. It's not that you just expand your silly news and add some more views and just type, but you really make a difference in these columns that are added. And what was interesting, when we asked about these dilemmas of editorial policy, we asked both readers and also editorial staff, and it was interesting that in every single issue, readers' perception was contradictory to editorial perception. So it was quite a big eye-opener also for editorial staff. And leading this change, I really felt that people were really motivated to understand how can we be better. And I think that it's a very important solution. If you don't just sit on the top of this news coverage gate and just imagine that you are the one who knows everything. Step down, go and ask people, and of course they can't tell you what to do, but they can judge what you have already done, and you should really listen to it. And it's inspiring and can be more telling.
And did you change vocabulary of using in a content, or you after when you redesign your newspaper? And did you write it in the same way, but you just added more issues, or you redesign also the way you were talking the language? And if so, could it be the influence that you change your position in the market and people misunderstood you, and you just made too hard to understand, and people made some confusion to themselves and then switched to the entertainment? Could it be the reaction of the public?
No, but after the redesign of the paper in fall of the 2008, we regained readership. We increased the paying subscribers for 15%. It's very...
What period of time they increased?
It's, well, in Latvia you have this subscription campaign going on at the end of the year, and for Diena it's mostly yearly subscriptions that are sold. So if you regain these people, you gain them for half year or for year. Which is not, this year is quite different, because after this crisis of ad market hit us so badly, we were forced to cut the paper and really change the concept. For example, we again just cut it, skip different things for which people were paying in subscription campaign, and also we experienced the bankruptcy of different companies, and so the readership or the circulation figures again started to fall. But that's not because they dislike the paper, but that's because they can't afford it. Here in Latvia right now we have 20% of unemployment. These people don't have money to sustain their families. They cut expenses they want. But about this language, yes, we try to, and we were not successful always. It's a process of your mindset change, but at least we formulated it for ourselves and tried to stick to it, really to focus on this personal level, because it's very easy for you just to stay back in a reporting habit that you just contact the people who produce the news.